I don't.
That's all right. It's not been excited about since she approached us last week. I mean, our lovely Jill, who's a regular here, was supposed to be foresight, but she's had a family engagement, which meant she's had to be away this week, a bit of an emergency, but we send her lots of love. So Fritha had put her hand up to do a foresight in September, being brave. I'll give it a go, I'll do my debut, and I'll have months to think about it. So we said, how's about doing it next week? She said, go on then. So she's going to teach us how to kick it on Facebook Live. Thank you very much. Round of applause.
So we should just have some slight technical issues this morning, but hopefully, there we go. So you should hopefully be able to see here. So good morning everyone. I'm Fritha. I'm from Facbook social media. I'm a social media trainer and specialist, and today I'm going to teach you how to kill it with Facebook Live. So you've probably all heard that Facebook Live is great for your business, but some people are a little bit nervous of it. So whether you're a beginner or maybe you're a Facebook Live pro and you've done loads of it already, hopefully there's something in this presentation that's going to help you to up your game for your business with Facebook Live. Got a little bit meta today because I'm actually now on Facebook Live talking about Facebook Live. So if anyone that's watching me and isn't a member of Forum and is a bit confused, I'm giving a presentation here at a networking meeting. I've dropped some information about it in the description. I'll put some info in the comments if you want to find out a bit more. So I'm going live whilst telling actual people, physical people, in real life about Facebook Live as well. So just going to start off with one tip to kick us off. So I've got some notes here. Facebook Live is seen as quite a casual, chatty type thing, which it should be, and it can be, but if you're doing it for business, you want to make sure that you are going to get in everything that you want to say and all those key points. So you can have notes, and you can have them visible, or you can have them, so people can't see them. If you don't need to refer to them, then that's great. It's always great to have them there. So, why should we be using Facebook Live? You've probably heard of it, but you're thinking, well, why should I bother? It seems like a bit of a faff, really. Well, firstly, you've probably all heard that the Facebook algorithm is really punishing business pages and dropping your reach. Maybe 2 or 3% of the people who've liked your page will see your posts organically. Well, Facebook Live has brilliant reach. Facebook is really pushing video at the moment because Facebook basically wants to take over the internet. They want to be the new YouTube. They want to be the new Snapchat. And so at the moment they're pushing video because they want you to put all your video and watch all your video on Facebook. So because they want this, they're pushing videos out and they're getting really great reach. Especially live videos getting even better reach than even sort of regular videos. So great reach, that's great, but I could do a normal video. Why should I use live rather than using a regular video? Well, Facebook Live is all about authenticity and accessibility. It's kind of that, like breaking down the barrier of that kind of marketing veneer that actually people are getting a bit wise to nowadays. If you're on live, then you're kind of taking people behind the scenes, and your audience and your customers are kind of feeling like they're getting something exclusive there. And also, it means you can show your personality off as a business owner. People are probably going to work with you, so you want to show off who you are, why you're so great, and it is a really great way of building trust and relationships with your audience. So, how to go live? I'm not going to teach you how to suck eggs, but basically you can go live from your phone, from your desktop, from your tablet, anything you want. Just the little buttons there, so really easy. Just click it, you get a little countdown, 3, 2, 1, and you're live. Now, that can be a little bit nerve-wracking to start with, especially with the countdown, because the countdown puts everyone under pressure. So, the first time you go live, you don't actually have to go live so that everyone can see it. What you can do is go live and practice with only me. So it's me pointing to the little button here. So you can practice going live, and it's just on your Facebook settings. You can do this with any post, but it's a great way to try with live. Have a go. Set it to only me. You can do as many as you want, and only you can see it. So if you mess up, or you get a bit nervous and want to cancel it off, that's fine, because only you can see it. You can do that as many times as you want, so to make you comfortable with it. So it doesn't have to be perfect though, so don't get a bit worried and think I might stumble over my words or anything like that, because it's live video and people are a lot more forgiving on live than they are when you're sort of pre-recorded and sort of all glossy and sort of supposed to be proper good marketing. So as well, if you mess up, then it actually can be good for your business because it makes you more memorable. So I don't know if anyone in here watches the soaps, but in the last few years they've done live episodes of the soaps. So Coronation Street did one, and apparently it was amazing, and they all got it right, and it's like, okay, great, brilliant like watching a normal episode of Coronation Street. EastEnders, on the other hand, was a bit of balls up on some of that, you could say. Lots of people forgetting their words and things. And the best one was, it was an episode where Bradley died, and then so Jake, who really plays Max Browning, his dad, so supposed to be sort of really stressed out, decided for some reason that the way to up his performance was to make himself pretend to be sick. So he shoved his fingers down his throat on live TV, trying to make himself sick, and they cut away from that quickly. But there was a lot of press coverage around that, a lot of people talking about it because they were like, what has he been doing? And actually that got EastEnders a lot more coverage. So whereas Coronation Street live episode wasn't really anything special, because of all the kind of nonsense that happened in EastEnders, then people did that. And it didn't really ruin Jake Wood's career. He's still doing really well in it, and actually, he's a really nice guy. I've met him, although he's a plonker on the telly. So, when you start off on your Facebook Live, firstly, make sure you put a really brilliant descriptive title on there, because you want to make it stand out. People are going to be scrolling through their newsfeed, and they're going to see your video, but the sound's probably not going to be on, so you want to make sure that they're thinking, oh, that looks like a really great video, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to read that, I'm going to watch that. So, when you're kicking off, you want to basically establish credibility at the start of your video, because you want to make sure that people know that you're an expert, but you also want to give them a reason to watch you. So you notice at the start of this, I said, I'm Fritha from Black Label Social Media, I'm a social media specialist and a trainer. That establishes that I know or should know what I'm on about social media. So you see here, this is just some of the captions from some of my videos. I always kick off and say, I'm a social media specialist, I'm the founder of Black Label Social Media. It gives people a reason to think, oh yeah, she should probably know what she's on about, so she's doing a video about social media tips. I'll probably listen to her. So that's something you can do to establish credibility. For example, Adam could be like, I'm Adam and I run the biggest selling geocaching magazine in the UK. Well, people are going to think,
it doesn't,
yeah. It's the only one. It therefore is the biggest selling, isn't it, as well? So it depends how you want to spin it. And people are going to think, well, this guy is clearly the person to listen to about geocaching. So, what are we going to talk about in our Facebook Live? So we're confident now, we've set up, we've got a great title, we know what we're talking about, we've established ourselves as an expert. What should we talk about? Now if you see the Facebook adverts and Facebook Live, they want you to go live when you've done something amazing, like you're doing skateboarding tricks in a really cool place, or you're climbing Mount Everest or something, which is all very well and good, and if you have done those things, brilliant, please go live about it. But for us normal business owners, that's not really something that we're going to be able to show off every day. It doesn't have to be that you're showing something amazing. It's just if you need to, you're going to add value to your audience. You're going to give them something that they're going to find entertaining or they're going to find educational. So I personally do a lot of tips videos, things like this, where I give people advice on how to succeed on social media, different tips and tricks. Things saying basically how to stay inspired on social media, top apps to use. It can be sort of more general topics to anything more specific. So I'm sure there's loads of things you can think about that you sort of teach about in your industry. Or if you're an entertainer like Kurt, you could just do a kind of video where you're chatting and being entertaining and funny. Or if you could do magic tricks like Russ, you could do one. I know Craig's done some videos with showing off your magic tricks and things, so it's entertaining and adding value for your audience, and it's going to make them want to watch it. So you could do tips and advice. You could do an FAQ about if you get a lot of the same questions, or if you've got a big audience, you could do a Q&A session and get people really interacting there. Because it's a combination of delivering really valuable content whilst being accessible and live. It's really powerful for building trust with your audience. So we've got our valuable content, we're entertaining, that's a great start. But how are we going to make it really, really work for our business and do something for our business? Because it's all right, loads of people tuning in and thinking, oh yeah, brilliant, feels great bloke. Kind of probably want to work with him, but maybe I haven't got around to it yet. You want to do something that's going to make them take action to get them one step closer to working with you. So we need for that is call to actions. So this can be whatever you want, but you've got this captive audience, let's make them do something. So it could be to click through to your website to read more about a blog you've written on the topic. You could get them to sign up to your email list. You could get them to even just like your Facebook page. I'm forgetting my slides here. So these are ones I've got. So I do downloads that go with my Facebook Lives. So this would be one. So I've got 50 social media content ideas that people could download. That went along with a video which was about how to stay inspired when you're kind of struggling to find social media content. And then another one I did with my friend Charlotte, who ran the London Marathon, and I helped her out with her Facebook fundraising. So we did a video together about how to use Facebook for charitable purposes, and so the call to action was to sponsor Charlotte for her run. So it can be any kind of call to action you want. What you want to do as well is keep referencing that call to action throughout your video, because on Facebook Live, people might watch you from start to end, and that's fantastic, but also they're going to drop in and out throughout your video. So people might start, but then have something else to do, or they might only see you halfway through and watch a couple of minutes. So if you're constantly referencing that call to action, constantly saying, oh, so you can get my guide and the links in the comments, the links in the description, then you're going to capture all of those people who are watching you throughout. So you also want to encourage engagement throughout your video as well as your call to action, because the more people engage with you on Facebook, obviously the more likely they are to see your posts again. That's how the Facebook algorithm works. So you want to encourage people to like your video if they're enjoying it, to leave comments, so you can ask them to leave questions, or you could ask a question and get them to leave the answers, and get them to share it. So I'm going to say now, if anyone is watching and you're enjoying this, please give me a big thumbs up. If you've got any questions, leave a comment and I'll come back to you, even if you're watching on the replay, and I'll come back and answer any questions about Facebook Live. And if there are any groups or people that you think would enjoy this, please do share it with them. So, we're confident, we've practiced, we're going to ask for engagement, but how do we get more people to watch our video? Well, firstly, tell them about it. It's a really great way to do it, because people might just come across your video in the newsfeed. If you're friends with them, you'll get a notification that they might be live, but actually the best way is to tell people. So you can do a post and tell them, I'm going to be live tonight at 8 PM. You could do a Facebook event, but a really cool thing Facebook's now letting us do is to actually schedule a live, and it will say that, you know, Dion is going to go live tonight at 8 o'clock, notify me about when she goes live. And you can set that up ahead of time, and then go live at 8 o'clock, and people are sort of going to be pre-prepared about this. So you can only do it at the moment through the API. Sounds really confusing, a bit technical. It means you use a third-party program, but it doesn't have to be technical at all. Basically, all you need to do is go to publishing tools on your page, video library, live. It will come up with some settings. I'll tell you a bit more about some of the technical side of things, but then you can schedule it just like you schedule any other post, and then that's going to come up. So another great reason to schedule is that then you can share this more easily. So another way to get more people, and that's what it's going to come up with. So that was one I set up for this morning. I plan to go live this morning, and then change it to the right time afterwards, so people can get the reminder there. Now the great thing about this is that I can share this post before I go live. So you want to share your videos in as many places as possible, because obviously you're going to get more views. So I always go live on my business page, because a lot of the time I want to drive people to like that page, interact with that page. But then you can share it to your personal profile. You can share it in groups like the For Networking community, or any sort of relevant groups. So for example, it's slightly unusual, we're doing a video about magic, they can share it in some magicians groups, or some kids party groups, or something like that. Normally if you go live and then you're trying to share whilst you're live, you've gone live on your phone, you've got to get your laptop out, and you've got to share it to all the different places at the same time. You can't concentrate on going live while you're sharing. It's all a bit confusing and it's just a bit of a faff. With this you can just share that beforehand. So that's what I've done. So I shared it into the For Networking community, and then when I go live on that post, it will, wherever the post is, it will automatically just flip over to your video, and you'll already be pre-shared everywhere, and it's just a lot easier to use. So I've spoken a bit there about using third-party things, and the really great reason to use third-party programs to do your live streaming is you can really up your game for your live streams. And sometimes you do just want to sit there and have a chat to your phone and just have your face in it, but sometimes you might want to level up and do a screen share and use it to teach people. So this is one I did where you've got me talking away there like normal, but also that's me sharing my iPad and sharing some apps that people can use to create videos for social media. So to do this, I use a program called OBS. It's free. If you want any information, just come and chat about me. If you're watching on live, I'll pop some information in the comments. It's free to download, and basically you can just share your screen on it. So this is really great if maybe you're thinking, oh well, I'd like to go live, but for my kind of business I need to show people what I do. Like if you're a software developer or a trainer or something, you could do a walkthrough of your website. You can show people how to do things. Gamers use this kind of thing for, they'll be gaming and they'll be in the corner with their sort of headset on, killing people on Call of Duty or whatever it is they do. And it's really popular. So any kind of thing where you think, actually I'd like to talk through something while showing something else, you can do on this. So actually this is what I've been doing today. So just to try and show you here if it's going to work, that I've been using OBS. So now it's put to this kind of slightly scary screen here, because this is actually screen capturing my screen. So you see I'm there in the corner. So whilst I've been showing you the PowerPoint in person, that's been in the bit behind and I've been in the corner there. So everyone who's watching on live will see me in the corner here talking to you, and they'll have also seen all those slides that we've been talking through. So to flip back to PowerPoint, let's finish up. So just to recap on our tips here, don't be scared. Have a bit of a practice beforehand. Make sure you've got valuable content and make sure you've got a call to action in there, some way that it's going to benefit your business and you can kind of get people on board. Use the API to schedule your posts and pre-share them around and just share them far and wide to get as many eyeballs on them as possible. And then up your game with screen sharing. Also, if you're watching on live, I did have another tip in there at the start. So if you're joining me later, you'll have to go back on the replay and watch again to catch that extra tip on the start. And that's another great way to make people go and watch your whole video again from the start, because the more views you get, the more you're going to get engagement and the further your videos are going to go. So, any questions?
Brilliant. That was awesome. Not a question, just a comment. You know when you said about practicing your own, I did that ages ago, and I forget what I was doing now, but I didn't want to be live. Anyway, it wasn't the right situation. And so I was practicing and doing something, and I wasn't clicked it properly. And then about 4 people joining me started talking. I was like, oh no, you shouldn't even be watching this! You shouldn't even be watching this! And I was doing I was doing all sorts of things ages ago, and I was like, it's so embarrassing, because all these people started joining talking, it was like, how are you seeing this? It's supposed to be a private one. Anyway, yeah. But just double check you've pressed on there.
There's also a lag, isn't there? There's a 27 lag.
So yeah, there is a bit of a lag, which is why I'll be about sort of 15-20 seconds behind use this. It can be, if you're using it off your phone, it's generally pretty close together. A lot of time it depends on your internet connection as well. If you're using something like OBS, you will be a little bit behind, so it is important to turn your computer speakers off, otherwise you end up talking over yourself on it. But it is, it's quite straightforward to use, but just remember there is that slight lag, so if you're answering questions, there'll be a little bit of a delay between questions coming in.
A little bit ahead of time, you rattled through that so quickly. Any not things you shouldn't do? Anything you've seen regularly that people do and it makes you cringe? That's probably the right bucket.
I see a lot of some people say sort of fill the first few minutes with a bit of fluff to kind of like, while people are joining, while it's getting people to join. I don't really like that, because then that's fine if you're doing it in a private group or something where you're waiting for an existing audience to join. But if you're using it to try and attract a new audience, then they're probably not going to sit there through 5 minutes of someone they don't know sort of dancing away to some music at the start. So I'd say, yeah, you can sort of kind of spin it out into a long introduction, make sure you keep recapping over what the topic is for when people join in. I'd say if it's something that you're using to try and promote yourself, then yeah, don't sort of mess up, just go for it at the start. Make sure you establish who you are, why they should be watching, because you want to hook people straight away, because actually a lot of people aren't going to watch you live, they are going to watch you on the replay. So you want to make sure you're hooking those replay people. If you can as well, get some subtitles on there, because obviously if it's in their newsfeed, it doesn't play with sound, or sort of like, even if you don't want to subtitle the whole thing, have something that comes up with just what the title is, what you're talking about, and then put, click the sound, watch this, like come and listen in or something like that. Just
How would you do that? Would you do it within Facebook?
So you can put subtitles in within Facebook. Will auto-generate some for you. They're not great, but you can go in and edit them. Or I use something called rev.com, and you just upload the video file for them, and it's $1 a minute you pay or something like that for it. So it works out really affordable if you've done a short video and you want to subtitle it. And they say a 24-hour turnaround time. They normally get it back to me in 3 hours.
Yeah, Steve Bowman uses on all his Jim, all his mixing videos, he has all his subtitles now, and you get more interaction. And on the subject of music, if anyone is thinking about using music, make sure you use non-copyright
Yeah, it's
stuff.
non-copyrighted, otherwise Facebook will just pull your video off.
Yeah. And if you go to YouTube and type in copyright-free music, there's a few channels where you can just download the music and use it. I use it on all my videos that I do on YouTube, so if you get in.
It takes you down every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
For somebody starting out with that, how often would you recommend doing a Facebook Live and what length of video would you suggest?
Say, if you can do them every week, it's kind of the best way to do it and try and get that kind of regularity built up.
So should it be like a set slot that you choose, like Monday at 9 and do it every
Yeah, if
Monday
you
at
can
9?
do that, because it gets people used to it. It also gets you in more of a sort of schedule of applying it in, and then you can repurpose the content, things like that. Anything you want to do, it's kind of easier to fit into your marketing. I'd say 15 to 30 minutes is a good length for them to start with, but actually it just kind of fly by and it's quite easy to film that amount, especially if you've got people you can sort of interact with them, talk to them, things like that. Mine sort of started off being sort of 15 minutes. I was trying to learn how to slow down and speak to make them a bit longer, but that is a good length for them, and you'll find people actually will watch that amount of content. Also makes it a good length to then put onto YouTube, because YouTube likes the sort of 30 minutes or longer videos. So then, yeah, we'll say repurpose your live video as well afterwards, put it on YouTube, things like that. So if anyone wants to have a chat about things, they can do that in ways they can make that easier. That's something I'm quite keen to talk about, so if I have a chat about
Can you
that.
download them then after you've
Yes,
done them?
you can download them.
So if you were doing, say, top tips or something, and they were just like daily 5-minute tips, could you mackle all of those together to put on YouTube to make it a third? And do you need special software for that, or can you?
No, I mean, most computers, either if you've got a Windows, you can use Windows Movie Maker. If you've got a Mac, you can use iMovie. You can use Adobe Spark to put video clips together. So there's loads of free ways to do it. You don't need to pay for video editing software if you're only doing sort of chopping your videos together. Kirk's a good person to speak to about things like that as well.
I'm picking up on this.
Two very quick more questions.
I know you just quickly what you're saying about Facebook Live is raw, and so I don't care. But when I put it onto YouTube, I will edit stuff out to make it look a bit more slick, and then I put it on and I upload it. But great using your Facebook to go onto YouTube and keeping that content going. It's really powerful stuff.
Matt?
Does it work using higher-end equipment, like higher-end film cameras and sound?
Yeah, so it just depends on, obviously the higher end sort of stuff you've got, you need sort of better Wi-Fi connection and things like that, just to make sure that the streaming can cope with it. But you can stream in HD and things there, because a lot of news sites and things do it now. It's just having all your kind of back-end capabilities set up for that. But yeah, definitely something you can do.
And Rob, should we finish with you, your question?
Yeah. You produce Facebook Live, you can download it. Can the people view it down?
Yes, you can download any video off Facebook. What you just need to do, go to the video, go and take out the www bit, put M instead, that'll show you the mobile version, play the video, right click, save as.
Fantastic.
I tried to open it when it came like that, never used it, I thought something wrong with it.
All day. It was fantastic.
Can we cancel the one-to-ones and have another That was ace. Really well done. Really well done.
It is now time to do our one-to-ones. So you've all booked your meetings. There are a couple of